Yves Saint Laurent never disappoints with their fragrances, with their top seller YSL Y competing with the biggest three blue fragrances, Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. But in 2023, YSL decided to mix it up a bit and start a new line of fragrances away from their Y line, and starting with MYSLF. With the original MYSLF breaking sales records and being one of the most best-selling men's fragrances at the time, not even 1 year later, YSL came out with YSL MYSLF Le Parfum. YSL describes MYSLF as your scent, and being yourself with this floral twist on a traditional woody scent. YSL says, "MYSLF is the expression of the man you are, with all of your emotions and nuances, a distinctly unique fragrance for those redefining what it means to be a man." In this video, we'll be taking a look at the original MYSLF Eau de Parfum and talking about who this is for, why it became so popular, and why it's a great all-rounder scent. The original MYSLF comes in a Eau de Parfum concentration and is available in 3 sizes plus a 150 milliliter refill bottle. From YSL, you can get the 40 milliliters for $89, the 60 milliliters for $125, and the 100 ml size for $155. On discounters like Joma Shop, Beauty LIV, and Forever Luxe, you can get the 100 ml size for $90 to $110. The presentation of MYSLF is very minimal, leaning into the theme of defining the fragrance for yourself and what it means to be a man. It's encased in a black glass with a matte YSL logo in the middle and the concentration finely printed at the bottom. This bottle is a fingerprint magnet, so I guess if we were to go along with the theme, you're making this yourself by stamping your identity into the bottle. The cap clicks into place with the YSL logo on top, and I'd have to say the cap is a bit of a disappointment. The cap is extremely light, and if you squeeze on it, it's a bit of a flexible, cheap plastic. For the price, and from a luxury designer brand like this, I would think they would be transitioning to metal caps like Dior and Creed or other designer brands that are great and known for their magnetic metal caps. So let's get into the notes. It's a very simple note breakdown and a very simple fragrance. In the top, bergamot; in the mid, orange blossom; and in the base, ambrofix and patchouli. It's a fairly simple note breakdown with a very floral yet masculine aroma. I would say this is the scent if you're looking to add a floral scent to your collection. YSL MYSLF has a pretty good performance, lasting about 6 hours on my skin, and it dries down into a nice skin scent, but I'd have to say the projection is pretty good, especially getting those fresh orange and fruity notes off the top. When this scent first came out, it received a lot of hate, and I could understand why. It's a very simple floral fragrance that doesn't have many notes and doesn't do too much. I think people were expecting this to be a bigger and better fragrance, especially with YSL Y Le Parfum dominating the market and being such an in-depth fragrance. I could see why many fans of YSL would be disappointed with this. But again, I don't think many people were expecting YSL to come out with something so minimal, fresh, and easy to wear. This is a designer house. It's nothing niche, and it's meant to appeal to a large crowd. And it's no wonder how the original MYSLF became a top bestseller in such a short amount of time and releasing another concentration less than a year later. I think the people who are hating on this are just used to high quality niche fragrances, but you just need to appreciate these simple and floral fragrances sometimes. I also think another point for hate for why people didn't like this is the note of ambrofix or ambroxan, that synthetic ambery note. It's in many different popular men's fragrances like Versace Dylan Blue, Dior Sauvage, many of the popular blue fragrances that are bestsellers. So it's no stranger that YSL would add ambrofix or ambroxan to one of their fragrances. And I have to say, ambrofix and ambroxan and that ambery note is extremely popular, and because it's a synthetic chemical or material, it's going to make the fragrance last longer instead of just natural materials that dissipate quickly. But I think YSL uses this chemical very nice, and it's very subtle. You don't get much of an ambery ambroxan smell from this. This isn't an ambery fragrance. It's more of a white floral one that many tend to underappreciate. Again, this scent is simple. YSL describes it to make it yourself and identify it for yourself. And with it being so minimal and clean, I think that's what had a lot of people disappointed. I love MYSLF. I think this is a great fragrance, and it's one of the only few floral fragrances that I have in my collection that don't smell too feminine. I'm very confident to wear this, although it being a floral fragrance. YSL did an amazing, perfect job making a masculine floral fragrance that can make any man confident wearing it. Going along with YSL's theme of making this scent for yourself, I think you can wear it whenever you want. It's fresh enough to wear daily in the hotter months like in spring and summer, and it's just a bit ambery enough to wear in the colder months in fall and winter. I like to wear this if I'm just going out quickly and wanting to run some errands, or I can definitely see people being able to dress this one up. It's such a versatile all-rounder fragrance that you could wear it with a jacket like me, or you just throw on a shirt and some shorts and just go out with this. YSL really hit the mark with having it being able to identify with you, how you identify being a man, and really making it for yourself. Many fragrance houses and fragrance collectors usually get caught up in the uniqueness of notes or trying to find very high quality, high-end niche things that no one has ever smelled before, but I think getting caught up in that makes you kind of lose the main focus of just trying to smell good. And I think that's what the main audience of whoever wants to buy a fragrance is looking for. They just want to smell good. And this does it. Nothing complex, makes you smell good, and that is the most mass appealing you could ever get. I'm not saying that's bad. I think that's a great thing. I think it's great that you could just pick up a bottle and smell great and not worry about if there's any oud or any complex notes that some people may not appreciate that you might do. If you have any more questions about this fragrance, please let me know in the comments, and if there are any other fragrances you want me to check out, leave that in the comments as well. I post daily on my Instagram at Jeffrey Fragrance with some fragrance photos and sometimes some videos, so feel free to check that out as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.